Okay, so good afternoon all. I'm Dr. Pinar Yelmi and I'm a lecturer in digital and interactive design here at the University of Leeds. Today I will present you my doctoral research. So the Soundsslike project, a sustainable crowdsourced sound heritage archive. So I will share my screen here. So if I...
That's much better, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I gave up the lights because it's all or nothing, unless you want me to take them all off. But then it might be that you need to read from your...
Yes.
So no, I'm afraid that's what this room does. It's not a lecture room where you can do sophisticated stuff.
Okay. So the project is called the Soundsslike Project, a sustainable crowdsourced sound heritage archive, and I still continue to work on different parts of this project. So the project is located at the intersection of three disciplines: soundscape studies, intangible cultural heritage, and interaction design. The project mainly intends to explore soundscapes in terms of cultural heritage and to raise awareness of cultural sound by means of exhibitions. The aims of the project are to define cultural soundscape of Istanbul by identifying significant elements of sonic culture, to preserve representative examples of contemporary urban sonic heritage, to create digital and online archives for sonic intangible cultural heritage, and to design an exhibition in order to increase public awareness of sonic environment. So let's start with why our sounds are so important that they deserve to be protected. The sonic environment is of great importance for any urban identity as it consists of the sonic values of both age-old traditions and contemporary daily culture. Sounds are indeed oral symbols of our daily intangible culture, such as what we eat, what we listen to, how we practice our religion, thus who we are. Sounds also connect people to their lands by way of auditory experiences that invoke memories of their past lives and their families. This sense of belonging forms strong relationships between people, their culture, and their lands. Moreover, sounds are endangered twice. First reason is due to dynamic nature of intangible cultural heritage. Intangible cultural heritage changes over time and adopts new versions of cultural elements or is replaced by completely different elements due to several changing life conditions such as technological developments, globalization, and immigration, and so on. And second reason stems from the physical characteristics of sound as it's a temporal value. Not being permanent, it needs to be reproduced each time, and which makes it always original. Kumikoto, a Japanese scholar, summarizes the idea behind why sound is important and is considered as intangible cultural heritage with the sentence: sound itself can also be a component of ICH as well as a means of articulating ICH, particularly because of its transient and fleeting nature. So in the beginning of the project, I conducted an online survey and interviews to get an idea of what people think about the characteristic sounds of Istanbul. According to this online survey, I gathered a list of the most symbolic sounds of the city of Istanbul. So this includes, I think they cannot be read, but the list includes traffic and car horns, ferries, crowds, seagulls, street professions, street vendors, call to prayers, sea and waves, animals, and so on. Music from shops, sirens and announcements, nostalgic tram, specifically bazaars, tea, nargile, backgammon, cockroach, and etc. Street musicians, construction noises, and church bells. Then I conducted sound walks to identify the exact locations of the sounds as well as to raise public awareness. Sound walk is a great method to explore soundscapes. It was first used in World Soundscape Project by Murray Schafer and Hildegard Westerkamp. Westerkamp defines it as a sound walk is any excursion whose main purpose is listening to the environment. So, I conducted 4 sound walks in 4 different central neighborhoods in Istanbul. There were maximum of 15 participants in each sound walk. I distributed the maps and questions beforehand to facilitate their thinking. The walks were mainly silent, except listening stops, where we had discussions with participants. After identifying the locations, we conducted field recordings throughout the year 2015. We recorded around 250 sounds in total, together with the related photographs, and created the archive of cultural sounds of Istanbul. This digital archive can still be accessible via Koç University Library, where I have conducted my PhD. So let's have a look at this collection. Okay, so if I may, I will share the screen. I am sharing this one. No? Okay, so this is the main page of the Soundscape of Istanbul collection at the digital collections of Koç University. So we have plenty of sounds here, and this includes from wood carving craft sounds to ticket cards where you need to use for transportation, horse races, fish sandwich vendors, fishmongers, the Bosphorus tours, the tea sounds, which is very traditional. And let's play for sure. Yeah, sure. So this is a very characteristic sound when you go to Istanbul, because most of the people drink tea, and most of them used to use sugar in their teas, but now yes. So this is the mixing sound.
Complain about my grandfather mixing his tea and making it. Yes.
But this is the yeah, yeah. But nowadays people are quitting this tradition. I mean, it's not that I cannot say like a tradition, but this behavior, because they try to quit sugar.
Yes.
So this is why this sound is endangered. Yes, because we are losing this sound. Everyone prefers their tea without sugar, so we don't hear as much as we used to do. Okay, for example, so we have also Christian traditions in Istanbul. So we have specific transportation. Maybe you have used this one. It's minibuses, and you don't know where to stop. You don't know where to get off, because there is no specific stops. When you get in this transportation, you need to know where exactly you need to get off, and then you need to tell the driver. So it's very interesting. I mean, it's not interesting for us, but for the foreigners, they really find it interesting. So, I mean, this is a conversation within this vehicle. It's more like an engine sound. So, It is really even difficult for me to understand what he's saying because he's trying to collect passengers, and he says where it goes.
Could we hear the fishmonger one?
Yeah. Okay, so which one? The fish sandwich, fishmongers, this one. They have a characteristic melody in their sound because we normally do not talk in this way, but they have this specific melody when they are shouting. Yeah, so we have the ice cream vendors, kebab vendors, call to prayers here. We have fossil nights. Yeah, let's go to this one for example. So these are very specific melodies. Turkish people knows that when they are listening to these specific songs, they mostly be drinking rakı together with these songs. So it's another traditional drink, alcoholic drink. Okay, so we have some festivals and chants also. Yeah. So this is. Yeah. It's an interesting translation, but it's really delicious. I don't know if you already tried it. But... This is the preparation melody. They're chopping it, and together with it, they're also singing songs, and yeah, which creates. We have nature sounds here, marathon, seagulls, metros, ferries, so mostly transportation. We have, popcorn sellers and market vendors. They are also very unique, and it also changes from neighborhood to neighborhood, how they shout for their products. Yes, within Istanbul, yeah. It's very interesting. We have the Ramadan drummers every night in the Ramadan month. Yeah. Street musicians. Okay, water sound, backgammon. Backgammon.
Oğlan çocuğu. Dört.
There are some specific phrases they use in while playing backgammon. Okay, and here we have the ceremonies, national ceremonies, and the commemoration of the founder of Turkish Republic. So, yeah, for example, let's go to
one image.
No, more than one images we've got, but sorry.
You've got at least one image.
Yes, at least one image, yeah. Because, for example, after 50 years, after 100 years, it may be good to look at these images and connect the sounds with the images. But I didn't record videos on purpose because when we have videos, people mostly focus on the videos and the playing image other than the sound. So that's why I didn't record any videos on purpose. Let's have a look at this one. So every 10th of November, we have these sirens at 9:05 for 1 minute, and this can be heard around the entire country, not only in Istanbul, and yeah, everyone stands still for commemoration of the founder of Turkish Republic, Atatürk. And yes, we have these ceremonies, the nostalgic tramway, train announcements, ferry announcements, pickle vendors. Yeah, we have these kind of sounds. And this is the homepage of the collection, where you can go to other sites, websites here. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. So we also became associate partners with European Sounds. Oh yeah, also maybe I can show this one again. Sorry. So this is the European Sounds page. And we also became associate partners with European Sounds, which is a European organization making efforts towards protecting the sound heritage of Europe. And the Soundscape of Istanbul collection is also accessible from European Sounds platform. Yeah, and we worked with the librarians of Koç University to make everything standardized for the European Sounds collection, and now entire collection can be viewed also in European Sounds, just like this.
Was it the case that, so did you know what Europeana Sounds was doing at the point when you were sort of thinking, I'd like to do a PhD?
No, actually,
No, you discovered them along the way.
Yes.
So you came to the idea that you wanted to make a soundscape of Istanbul, and then saw what they were doing and realised that you could.
Yeah, exactly. So after finalizing the collection, I came across their collections. So it wasn't like this. At that time, they were only announcing that they were going to work with some partners across Europe. So I just, and I also attended the conference and presented one of my papers there. And that's how we got to know each other. And then we started this partnership with them. So yeah.
And had no one tried to make a soundscape of Istanbul before?
I guess so. I mean, as far as I know, I couldn't find any archives like this for the Sounds of Istanbul. But of course, we have the film archives and everything. But they are not organized according to the sounds.
No.
So they're all based in our national television and radio, and they need to be digitalized and everything. So they're all in the movies. But as far as
do you find that film directors and radio play directors come to you for those sounds, or might they, or could
yes,
who might use your archive in the future?
So I was just coming to your point. Sorry. So, okay, I will answer your question.
Thank you.
Just here. So the archive intends to serve anyone to use for non-commercial purposes because it's in line with the university's collections, guidelines and everything. So it needs to be for non-commercial purposes. And I'm more than happy to announce that I had already some requests to include several sounds from from my archive in several artistic works. So this includes an individual short movie project, a documentary about a very famous photographer, Turkish photographer by a French director, and to be used in a sound exhibition in Pinar. So in documentaries, in non-commercial movies, they can use this. But then I decided to go one step further, and instead of a stable archive, I aim to turn it into a more sustainable and extendable platform. The Soundsslike project, which is a crowdsourced web-based archive, was initiated with the aim of carrying the library archive collection one step further. So I aim to transform the archive interface into a more accessible platform to encourage user participation for a crowdsourced database and for sustainable preservation of this intangible cultural heritage. So we can have a...
Could you mind for free? You're going to go on the website.
So yeah, I will go. Yes, okay. Now I will share this one.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay. So as you can see the difference, one of them is a library archive. So, okay, this is the collection and we can see the entire metadata here, which is great. So our main object is sound, so that's why it opens with the sound. And we have the supporting objects here, which are the photographs. We don't have any videos on purpose. And we have all the metadata here. So in the metadata, I basically included, I try to write 2 sentences for each sound. So first sentence focuses on the main sound, and the second sentence focuses on the entire soundscape, the other sound elements. So that's how I organize the entire description part here, and it's in Turkish and English as well. So we have the keywords, the dates, the period of the day that I recorded it, the duration, the location, the neighborhood in Istanbul, the exact coordinations that I have recorded the sound. So we have 4 types of sounds: mechanical, musical, natural, and human sounds. So I included this one. So this archive is standardized, is international standardized archive, but also it has some specific spaces to this to this archive. So frequency, this is an interesting field because, for example, the Tremino sound, we hear it daily, but we have some sounds like commemoration one, it's just once a year, and national ceremonies is just once a year, so they are the annual sounds. We have some seasonal sounds. For example, we have winter drinks or winter foods which are sold only in winter months. Yeah. So we don't hear them in summer, for example. And we have some weekly sounds. For example, on Fridays we have a special call to prayers. So we have Friday call to prayers, for example, and or Sunday chants, for example. So they are the weekly routines. And we have the category here. So this is related to transportation category, and I will show you the other categories here, and the ID numbers and formats and everything. So we have these fields in the exact library, but this collection can only be changed by myself or by the librarians in this in the university, in Koç University. So this is not very convenient for other people to upload sounds here. So that's why here. Yes, they can. Yes. They can download the sounds. They can download no, they cannot add, but they can download the sounds. And then we worked on an interface which is more user friendly, and it doesn't seem like a closed archive or a collection, so that people can easily add sounds here. So we have an add sound button here. When you click on add sound, it directs you to a login page, which we already have a login page here. So you create an account, and then you can add sounds here easily. And when you add a sound outside Istanbul, it doesn't matter. It just automatically adds the city from which you are. The GIS. Yeah. So yeah. We added the sound here. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I also expanded the project outside of Istanbul. Istanbul was my case study. But then I collected so many sounds from different places. Yeah, because I conducted a research in British Library for 3 months, and I stayed in London for 3 months, and yeah, so it's not as much as many sounds as Istanbul, but still we have
working with that kind of thing. It's a massively easy, available thing to add to. So we could use it for the Southern Yemen. Southern Arabia.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, you can use it.
I'll talk to you later about that, Andrea.
What you say in people can add sounds, right?
Yeah.
Is there any admin to manage or to make metadata or the people or those who add sounds they will make?
Good question. No, we have an administration panel. So we only got 1 or 2 irrelevant sounds, which we had to decline. But other than this, we include the sounds. Yeah.
Yes.
It was just like irrelevant music sounds. For example, they were listening to music at home, which is completely irrelevant to the. They're just
the wider environment.
No. It's just It's just a domestic sound.
Do you have to add the other towns, the other places there?
Yeah, you don't need to do anything. When you
if we're in Southern Yemen, for example,
yeah, it
automatically to add somewhere.
It automatically adds to the list here.
It automatically adds.
Yeah.
You could want for more. No. Right.
So we basically have two different visualizations.
Yes. Can I ask?
Sure.
Because Janet is interested, perhaps more than in sort of environmental sense more broadly, in languages.
Yes.
As people speaking, you know, if the kinds of things that she would be interested in uploading were elements of, you know, discourse and stuff, would that still fit within the remit of what the panel would accept?
I mean, it depends on the context, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I was actually thinking of more environmental sounds. So amongst the camels,
yes,
being at the sea,
yes,
songs.
and that would also be putting the language into context.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So that specific vocabulary that relates to those environments.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
She's very happy now.
So we have another visualization here. It's the thematic map. I'm sorry, it's in Turkish. So it is more like an experiential discovery mode. Sorry, I put it in Turkish. But from the spatial map, you can view the sounds, from the map here. Yeah. So, and so here we have the categories here. So
Transportation.
yes, transportation, and when you click on transportation, for example, it eliminates all the other sounds. And for example, street professions. Why we have greens and reds? Because we have multiple texts in some of the categories and some of the sounds. For example, let's go to the sound. My favorite Turkish. And the only thing that he says is here. It's not. He's not even saying Turkish bagel or something related to. It's just bre, and it means here, and that's it.
If someone heard that, they know it was bagel seller.
Yes, the locals of the specific neighborhood know that he's selling this specific food, but I wouldn't know, of course, because I didn't live in this specific neighborhood. But I mean, this man is there every day, and they know each other. It's very interesting. So, for example, this sound is related to food and drink and street professions categories, and food and drink is red, and street professions is green. So that's why we can see both colors, for example. And when you click on a sound, you see the contributor. It also gives credits to the people who records the sounds, the date, categories. We have the keywords here, the duration, and a very brief explanation of the sounds. And if there's any project related, you can always put the project and links and everything.
If someone puts up a sound, do they have all this information themselves, do they, or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is still an archive. It's still a collection.
Yeah.
So that's why we intended to have some of the metadata, not all of them, not very detailed as I have done for the library archive, but a little bit of metadata, because it will help people. For example, the date is important here because they built something in this place and it's not the same anymore. For example.
Is the date put in automatically or with GIS coordinates?
No, the contributors put the date here, and they write the name. They choose the categories because we have specific categories here. They write, there's a free space to write the text, and duration, I think it comes automatically. And yes. And when you click on the contributor, you can see which sounds and how many sounds they recorded and have in this. So this is me, obviously. But
I'm going to try this when I can
oh, yeah. Yes, so we have this. And when I was doing this project for my PhD, I met with a retired person from national television, Turkish television and radio, and he just saw the news on the newspapers and saw the project, and he would like to contribute with his own personal collection because he used to collect sounds from Istanbul with big sound recording machines, and he was really excited when he saw the project because he wanted to donate his personal collection but couldn't find any place where to give the sound. Yeah, and we met this person, and I'm really happy to have met with him because his sounds are from like 60s and 70s time period, which makes the project even more valuable, I think, because we don't have these sounds anymore. So when you so when you arrange the timeline here, time bar here, you can see the sounds only from this time period. So for example,
Unique yan irtibatlı. İstanbul Ekspresi 5 dakika sonra birinci yoldan hareket edecektir. Unique yan irtibatlı. İstanbul Ekspresi 5 dakika sonra birinci yoldan hareket edecektir. Attention, İstanbul Express en connexion avec Munich et Vienne partira dans 5 minutes sur le premier quai. İstanbul Express en connexion avec Munich et Vienne partira dans 5 minutes sur le premier quai. Attention please. Istanbul Express in connection with Munich and Wien will leave in 5 minutes at the first train.
So this is my favorite sound of his collection because we don't have any trains, even trains from this train station. It's biggest train stations in Istanbul, but we don't have any trains. And this train used to go to Munich from Istanbul to Munich.
Was it the Orient Express or something?
It's Istanbul Express, he says, yeah. And the announcement is in 3 languages: Turkish, French, and English. So it's amazing, and it shows the demographics and the life styles at that time period, because at that time people were immigrating to Germany from Turkey for work purposes. Yeah, for work purposes, they were immigrating, and it is the announcement is for them. And for example, we have other sounds from 60s and 70s that he recorded. Was it this one? Yes, Selva with the barrel, and also it shows that the tradition still continues because it's a specific food again for the Ramadan, and also he says the price, which we don't have anymore. It's very interesting, I think, because you can compare the prices and the way of saying the words, the same words, but the way of saying it is a little bit different. And also these sounds have less background noises because we had, less traffic at that moment. So it's very interesting to hear this as well.
Random call, X. With a sound archive, that's, that you could just integrate into your project.
This is the steamships. Yes, steamships. We don't have steamships at the moment, so I think his sounds are fascinating, and yeah, and add so much value to the project. My presentation. And so we designed a new digital interface to encourage people contributing with their own sound recordings. To introduce the idea of crowdsourcing sound heritage, we also designed an interactive exhibition which played a great role in raising awareness and leading visitors to protect sound heritage by connecting the static exhibition space to the dynamic urban fabric. So this was our interactive exhibition. So basically it was a small dark room with two different visualizations like we have in the web page. So we have the discovery visualization here, and we have the map visualization here. So the reason for that is, so we provided some cursors to the visitors so that they can select and listen to sounds, that they have selected. So there were 3 cursors, which means that they can select 3 sounds at the same time, and then they could play them at the same time, which allows them to create another soundscape within the exhibition area with the sounds that we recorded. And also we observed that, we foresee that people would select the sounds from the neighborhoods that they are familiar with. And we observed from the exhibition area that they were doing exactly the same. For example, they were saying, oh, I live in this neighborhood, let's have a look, let's discover which sounds they collected, they recorded, and they started from these neighborhoods and then continue to discover with the other neighborhoods. And sometimes they are familiar with the sounds, which make them really happy because they make this connection between their own neighborhoods. And so basically they then sign up with their own accounts and started to contribute with their own sound recordings here at this system. And the results were very impressive. People could really attach themselves to the project by interacting physically with the sounds and playing with them in the exhibition area. So after this exhibition, we designed another exhibition to enhance awareness and consciousness of urban sounds. So this one is not the interactive exhibition, it was experiential exhibition. So there were 5 speakers in a circle shape. Oh, it's a little bit difficult to see maybe here. So in a rounded shape. Okay, so you can see 3 speakers here. We had 5 speakers in a circle shape, and from each speaker was playing 2 sounds at the same time. So in total we had 10 sounds, but these sounds were selected on purpose because they are all endangered sounds, and they are traditional sounds, in a way. I can say like Turkish bagel sounds, or nargile sounds, the shisha, water pipes. So when you stand in the middle of this circle, it is just chaotic sounds. It's just like everyday sounds of Istanbul.
Yeah.
And it's nearly impossible to catch one of the sounds and understand what it is. But when you approach to any speaker, you start to understand which sounds they are, or sometimes you just try to understand where it's coming from. And we provided only textual clues, not images, on purpose. It is again on purpose because we didn't want visitors to see the photographs and then forget about the sounds. So that's why we didn't include any images or visual clues, but included only textual clues. And also we didn't write what sound it is. We only provide the information about the historical background, maybe, or the importance in terms of tradition. So we tried to push the visitors a little bit and want them to guess the sounds, because some of them, when you bring it out of context, it's hard to guess what sounds it is. So we tried to make them think about the sounds. Yep. So we also organize lots of events together with this exhibition, another sound walks, workshops, performances, and talks to reach as many as people as we can. And they were very successful, and we had hundreds of new users in this website and hundreds of new sound recordings in the archive. So here are some outcomes of the project. So it is necessary, we figured out that it's necessary to create an archive for sound heritage, specifically for the city of Istanbul, since there wasn't any before. And including society in each and every step is very important, as their opinions shape cultural memories. Such an archive needs to be done as a collaborative work, because each participant's contribution is very valuable. It is significant to build a dynamic platform which anyone can contribute rather than a stable archive. So they're not only the viewers but also the contributors of the archive. And it's necessary to design a sustainable system for transferring sound heritage to next generations and for expanding the archive. So this project may lead to further research, including maybe game design, to make this action of protecting sounds as a daily activity, or like. Oh, really? Or exhibitions with new technologies such as AR, VR, to enhance the effects of this experience. Too many. Thank you very much for listening to me.